What's going on, everybody? This is MYG Jeffy T 3285. I hope everybody's enjoying their Monday morning and had a great weekend this past weekend. Well, it looks like there's another twist going on in the trade speculation surrounding Kevin Durant, as Shams from The Athletic this morning has dropped some news that the team that originally eliminated the Brooklyn Nets from the playoffs this past month is looking like they're entering the Kevin Durant trade sweepstakes, as the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets are engaged in trade talks now for the embattled superstar from Brooklyn. Now, the Shams has tweeted this morning that the Boston Celtics are willing to offer superstar Jaylen Brown, key depth piece Derrick White, as well as a draft pick for Kevin Durant. And of course, the Brooklyn Nets have declined that offer, as they wish they want to include Marcus Smart in that trade for Kevin Durant. Now you have to wonder if this is just going to be a little bit of posturing between these two teams right now, as I think the Boston Celtics are one of those teams that have the type of assets that the Brooklyn Nets are looking for if they want to make a trade of Kevin Durant. And I believe that the Brooklyn Nets should try to ask to get maybe a Jason Tatum, because I think the Brooklyn Nets realize that they should try to get as many assets back as possible, and I don't think just one draft pick, as well as Derrick White and Jaylen Brown, and even including Marcus Smart, is enough to get back the type of player that Kevin Durant is in Brooklyn. So I wouldn't be surprised if Boston and the Nets maybe do a little bit of a do-si-do here, and the Nets maybe try to get a little bit more out of Boston. Not only just including Marcus Smart, but maybe another pick or two out of Boston. And maybe they try to get another player, like maybe a Robert Williams, maybe a Grant Williams, maybe a Peyton Pritchard, maybe another one of these players on Boston to try to sweeten the deal. Because there was a little bit of turmoil going on with Boston, and that seems like it might have a possibility of being interested in trading a guy like Jaylen Brown away, because they want to try to get more of a sure thing, and they figure that a pairing of Kevin Durant with Jason Tatum and a bunch of young good core players is going to be enough to help push Boston maybe over the edge as one of the favorites still in the Eastern Conference, especially since they just came off this past season being in the NBA Finals and just came up short of winning an NBA championship. That's just the latest rumor right now as we're talking about it. The Boston Celtics this morning have engaged in trade discussions with the Brooklyn Nets, according to Shams of The Athletic. And right now the package that the Boston Celtics have given the Brooklyn Nets are as follows. It's been Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a first-round pick. But, as many are expected, the Brooklyn Nets have declined that package, as they are also interested in trying to see if they can get Marcus Smart out of that deal too. And even so, I still think a trade package of Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a first-round pick for Kevin Durant is not enough. I would still, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, ask for even a little bit more from the Boston Celtics and try to get as much assets as you can in any type of trade with the Boston Celtics or with any team. But Boston is definitely one of those teams that has the type of talent as well as the type of draft assets that you're looking for if you want to try to swing a trade at all for a guy like Kevin Durant. So that's just the latest rumor that has just come out this morning, according to Shams, is that the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets now have engaged in trade discussions, and Boston is offering up Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a first-round pick for Kevin Durant. We'll have to see where this goes as the NBA offseason continues to wind down, and if maybe any other team decides to enter the fray too, as the Nets have also been in discussions before with teams like the Miami Heat, as well as the Phoenix Suns. You're assuming that maybe another team like the Golden State Warriors, if they decide maybe they want to jump back into it. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the NBA offseason as it continues to wind down. But I'm very happy that the Nets turned that deal down, because I just don't think it's enough assets. I think the Brooklyn Nets should ask for more. And I think the Brooklyn Nets really don't need to The Brooklyn Nets, like I mentioned in my previous videos, and like other Nets fans have said, and other beat reporters and analysts have said, the Nets have no urgency to trade Kevin Durant right now. They have no reason right now to go out there and trade Kevin Durant because they hold all the cards. They have the power right now. They hold the leverage in any type of deal with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant did sign that 4-year extension last off season. So the Nets don't have to exactly trade Kevin Durant to wherever he wants to go or whatever team, they think might have the most assets. But this is something to definitely monitor as the NBA offseason is going to go on, is that the Boston Celtics now have at least offered a trade package to the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, the Nets have declined. We'll have to see where this is going to go forward. But that's just my quick little update that happened this morning, as Shams tweeted that the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets have engaged in some type of trade chatter, and the Nets have declined the Boston Celtics offer right now. We'll have to see if maybe they're going to re-engage, and maybe the Boston Celtics will offer a little bit more to the Brooklyn Nets as we go forward. So if you like the video, please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT3285 for more breaking news updates and chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets, New York Mets, New York Giants, as well as WWE wrestling and some food for thought. Leave a comment below on this latest rumor surrounding Kevin Durant. If you think an offer of Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, and a first-round pick is a fair enough deal for Kevin Durant, or do you agree with the Nets declining this trade offer, and you would think that even Marcus Smart isn't enough to be included in this trade, and that you would want more for a guy like Kevin Durant? And turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short that drop surrounding the Brooklyn Nets, as there's still going to be a lot of trade speculation going on with Kevin Durant, and we just have to wonder what is going to happen next in this whole entire Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant trade speculation. Enjoy the rest of your Monday morning / Monday afternoon and evening. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Take it easy, and let's go Brooklyn Nets.